Hello everyone, I'm Zsolt again from Yaw VR and I wish you a very happy new year. I know it's a little bit late, but it's still January. Today I would like to demo you YAW3 with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, which is a new software. I know it's old because it came out in last year, but for me it's still a new software and I'm very curious about how it works with YAW3. And I have some exciting news regarding our game engine, which is one of the news is that it's called from now GameLink, it's a new name, and Infuse VR, where we made some development progress. So let's start. First, let me show you how easy to start a VR gameplay with our software environment. We have to just start the Steam. In Steam, you can find Infuse VR. For me, it's already in my library, but of course you can find it in the store. It's still free, so you can easily install and run it. And if you run, let's push the play button. If you run it and your GameLink or game engine is already installed on your computer, then the Infuse VR will automatically start the GameLink. And you don't need to do anything else, just start the game. After everything is started, then you should just start the Microsoft Flight Simulator in this case. I think it will takes a little time until this will start, but you can see here that the GameLink recognized that we started the game and the simulator immediately started and ready to go. And GameLink also automatically connects to the game with its plugin. And from that point, the motion data comes from the game to the GameLink, and the GameLink sends the data to the simulator. And that's all, everything is ready to go. Only one task left to start the streaming in your headset. For that, you need to install the Infuse VR client application on this headset. It's also an interesting news that we already submitted the Infuse VR client software into MetaStore. It's under review. Unfortunately, it's there since a very long time, maybe since 2 months or something. And it's still not accepted. I really hope that in the following weeks or maybe days, hopefully, will be accepted. And from that point, it will be much more simple and easy to install and start Infuse VR, because it will be just one click inside the headset. And you can start the Infuse VR server application from Steam also very easily, so just 2 clicks and that's all what you need to do. Okay, let me show you how to start in the headset. So this is my software library inside the headset, inside MetaQuest 3. And you can see my Infuse VR is already in the library because we submitted it into the MetaStore. It's not accepted yet, but it's already here. And I can start from here, and the application has started, and immediately automatically connects to the PC. So you don't need to do anything else, just start the application, start the server application, start the local or client application on the headset, and basically you are ready to go. The simulator set up automatically, the streaming set up automatically, the connections between the games, GameLink and the simulator established automatically. So it's very convenient and very cool to use. Okay, let's start the game from here, but we can go back to the PC side. And I want to choose the free flight here, because I would like to use the Kecsked airport, which is, I'm now here in Tatabanya, and the Kecsked airport is around 8 kilometers from here. So I would like to take off from there and show you Tatabanya very quickly. And of course I will show some other places, but it will be very exciting for me at least. So I selected Kecsked airport and start flight. Okay, it's here, ready to fly. This is Kecsked. And I experienced a very strange issue or bug in Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you have any idea how to solve it, please let me know. But what I experienced is that sometimes the software, I mean Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, loses the focus of the input accessories like joystick or the controllers. Okay, now the controllers are working properly, but you can see exactly now it lost the focus, and I cannot do anything with my mouse, with the keyboard, so nothing works. It's very disturbing, and I found only one solution. I don't know how, honestly. If I turn on this Microsoft Xbox controller and connect to the computer, and I'm just pushing buttons absolutely randomly, then after a while the connection or the focus will be back, and from that point I can just control the game with my mouse and keyboard again. I don't know what is this behavior. If you have any idea, please let me know, because it's really disturbing. All right, let's turn to VR mode. It's Control Tab, and I don't have to do anything else, just sit in the simulator and go. I have two controller holders here. It's designed by Brian, one of our friends. It's VRK, if somebody knows from this. And by the way, I have to recalibrate the view because it's a little bit strange. I usually, in this case, I use the calibration button on the right controller, look forward, and then I programmed the calibration, the cockpit calibration to here on the yoke, and I just push that button, and I'm trying to set everything, and as I see, everything is great. And you immediately notice that there are some strange blue stuffs inside the game. It's the Infuse VR itself, and let me show you very quickly why this application is great. So first of all, it's about a very easy to use streaming software. It's like a virtual desktop or AR VR or something. It's based on AR VR, and we just made some modifications on it. And as you can see, we can visualize our hand inside the cockpit, even if the application like Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 cannot visualize your hand. Maybe there are some solution, I don't know, honestly, because we have our own simulation, so we don't need the software-based simulation. And we visualize the controllers, but of course you can turn it off or on, so it will not disturb you during the flight. And what is really interesting here, this motion compensation menu, because here with just one click you can turn on the motion compensation, and from that point you don't need to dealing with the motion compensation anymore. So you don't need to set up the center, to install OpenVR emulator or OpenX are some kind of additional applications and software. You need just put the left controller to a certain point on the simulator, maybe set up the smoothing, so you can set up here the smoothing, and that's all what you need. Everything else is done by the software. And as you can see, it means that the view is binded to the position of the controller, so that's why the motion compensation is super easy here if you fix the controller on your simulator. Okay, and there are one more very interesting tool in this software, what I would like to show you very quickly, is the gaming accessory visualization. That means I have now here a yoke, it's maybe Cytec yoke, if I'm not wrong. Yes, it's a Cytec flight yoke system, and I have the throttle here also a Cytec one. But I cannot see here, so for example now the yoke is basically very close to the visualized yoke here, but I completely lost when I want to touch the throttle, and I can just locate the handles by touching it and I'm trying to figure out which one is which, and lots of time I mixed for example the throttle with the mixture, and of course with mixture you can just kill the engine, so it's not super convenient that you have to learn which accessories is where. And here comes our solution. I select the devices menu. I'm going to the throttle and Cytec. I just push this arrow. The Cytec controller will be, or accessories will be selected. And now I'm in the options menu. Automatically it's put me into the options menu. And now I can grab if I pinch with my fingers, I can grab this controller or this accessory, and I can move it where the real accessory is. Okay, it's somewhere here. You can see I'm already able to touch the controllers by my finger. So I see here, it's virtual, but I can see, and I can just grab them in a very intuitive way. And what is super cool, if I move these arms, then it moves in the virtual space as well. So I can also see the real location of it. Very intuitive. Here are some other options. Let me just turn off the translate. So from now, I cannot move this controller anymore. And I would like to show you also the visualization. If you don't want to overlap the instruments, the virtual instruments very much, then you can set the opacity, so you can just hide these as much as possible, or even you can turn on the X-ray, and the X-ray helps us to make the controller more invisible or more transparent, and even you still can use the opacity button. Or if you choose the color, then it will get just a simple color without any texture, and you can just hide it, almost hide it completely. But still, you can touch and easily set everything. Okay, so that was the throttle, and of course I have a yoke. It's yoke Cytec, and you can see it's already here. Let me push here the local and turn off the X-ray and increase the opacity and put the color back to the 0. So you can see here, I can move it as before. You can see here this controller. I can set it where it is in the real life. So now my Cytec yoke is inside Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It's really in the same space. On YouTube video, you cannot see how perfectly it fits into the three-dimensional space, but it's really cool. And basically it's okay, yeah. And what is also important, it also can move. So if I move it, it just follows the movement. So it's super convenient and super nice. So let me just turn off this window and hide the whole menu. And now I can just hide the original yoke. And even what I can do, if I come here back and set the settings, if I just push the opacity to 100%, then it became a real yoke. So now I can just close everything, hide the controllers, and the setup is ready. So now I can fly, I can grab the throttle, I can release the brake, and I'm ready to fly. And what I feel now is the vibration of the engine, and as we started to rolling, I feel the vibrations from the wheels, and even if I was rotating or turning to the right side, I felt a little roll tilt because of the turning on the ground. And immediately when I take off, the vibration just disappeared. I feel just the engine vibration. And because the engine vibration is depending on the RPM, if I put the RPM down, then I feel, oh sorry, I have to give a little thrust. So if the engine RPM is going down, then I feel in the simulator that something is changed. Okay, let me just set the flaps. Okay, before I show you Tatabanya, which is by the way there, let me land very quickly again. By the way, this guy is very scary. So every time when I look on the right, I just realize that somebody is sitting here, and I'm scared in that moment. So let me land very quickly just to show you how the simulator and the software is behaving when I'm landing. And you can see, because the motion compensation is based on the controllers, and the accessory positioning is also binded to the controller. It's quite precise and very easy to use. Okay, maybe I have to set the flaps. Okay, I'm a little bit too high, but I will not really care about that now. So I don't think it's the proper perfect landing, but okay. But who cares? Oh, okay. Sorry. I feel that it's really amateur, but let me just show you the landing. Okay. All right. So I'm not sure if you have seen on the video, but I felt that my right wheel touched the ground first, because I felt just that was what hit the ground first, and then the left gear, and then was the moment when the nose gear just touched the ground. So I felt the whole process, and it was quite interesting. Okay, let's just start to take off again. I immediately start the vibration, and even I feel the motion of the whole body of the aircraft, so not just the vibration. And I feel when I left the ground immediately. And it's really cool that I still feel the engine vibration. Of course, if you have a butt kicker or something like bass woofer, then it's better, of course, because the vibration of the simulator is a little bit limited. Maybe later we will build in some kind of haptic feedback, more precise haptic feedback. But especially for an aircraft, this vibration is absolutely cool and enough, and you can set it up for your taste as you wish. So it's a very flexible system. Okay, so that is Tatabanya front of us, and I will try to show you where we manufacturing the YAW3s, and basically this is my hometown or born town. I don't know how to say it in English. So I was born here, and the graphics is not the highest quality because our computer performance is a little bit limited, I should say, so we have to upgrade the graphics card recently, and because of that it's a medium quality graphics or something, but it's already impressive, I would say, because it's very realistic, and even the season is right, and the hills are completely the same as in real, so it's very interesting to see. It's the landscape is very similar. This lake is also somewhere here. We have our manufacturing facility. Let me try to show you. Okay, so that is our building, the two one together. It's not perfectly precise, but it's interesting to see from the sky in a game. It's really interesting. Okay, let's give some power to the aircraft, and let me show you Tatabanya very quickly. By the way, I should say the buildings are, let's say, barely the same as in the real life. So of course Microsoft Flight Sim cannot simulate or recreate all the buildings in a city, but I would say it's quite far from the real buildings. But if you don't know the exact city, then it doesn't matter. What is a little bit disturbing is that on that hill there is a bird statue. Okay, you should make sure, because it's a controller-based motion compensation, you should make sure that the controller is always visible. So if you just cover with your hand the controllers, then the motion compensation can be a little bit how can I say, failed or something. So on this hill there should be a big bird statue, which is the biggest bird statue in Europe. So it's quite nice, and there are some very nice caves. Maybe I will insert some photos about that into the video. And there is a viewpoint. It's also very nice. So the view is, or the buildings and the environment is not 100% perfect, but overall is very nice and super cool. I like it very much. Oh, by the way, there is a building where I was living in my childhood. It's nice to see. And there is Tata. I will show you Tata very quickly. It's the neighbor city of Tatabanya, and it's just very beautiful, because there is a very old castle in Tata, which was the castle of one of our greatest king. And here is the 500 years old castle. It's quite realistic, by the way. So it's very similar as in real. It's nice, very nice. Okay, so that is Tata and Tatabanya very, very briefly, and let's try some other locations. First of all, I would like to see the Grand Canyon. I'm very curious about that. Okay, here we are at the Grand Canyon, and the runway is, let's say, hard surface runway. So the takeoff will be a little bit different as before. So let's start immediately. And what I have already experienced in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, that the Cessna cannot really handle this high, because this airport is on high altitude. So maybe I have to change a little bit the mixture, but first let me just try to take off, but it's interesting because now it flies very well. When I tried it with Cessna 172, after the takeoff, I immediately heard the warning signal that our speed is not enough on this altitude, and I couldn't do anything with this warning signal, so I had to just slowly increase the speed, and then it was okay. But now it's quite good. Sorry, I'm not a pilot, so I'm really sorry if I'm talking about nonsenses. So let me check. I believe there will be the Grand Canyon, so we will travel there. And by the way, why I replaced the Cessna from 172 to this model is that in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, the Cessna 172 has no gear forces in Game Link. I mean, there is no coming gear forces from the game. It's not the issue with Game Link, but it's issue with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. But this Cessna has gear forces, but in case of Cessna 172, there is no data. So this aircraft is perfect and great, and it has wheel force feedback, which is super cool when you are landing or when you take off, because you feel the road surface very well. You feel what wheel touched the ground first and so on. Okay, we are approaching the Grand Canyon. I'm very excited because in Microsoft 2020 it was nice, but as I heard and as I have seen some videos on YouTube, in 2024 it's just more spectacular. Oh my god, it's just beautiful. It's already beautiful, let's say. Okay, let me just go down. Oh, it's a visitor center. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe I have already visited this area. It's a little bit familiar, and I was running here one time. It was very interesting because when I travel, sometimes I like to running in different countries. It's so beautiful, and interestingly, if you are running, you remember much better for the environment. I don't know why, but I very sharply remember my runnings in different areas, and I have just realized after a 5 minutes run that something is wrong with the oxygen level, or I wasn't in shape, maybe, I don't know, but I have just realized that it's a high altitude and a little bit different to run here. Okay, but let's go back because it's just beautiful. It's very nice. Spectacular and realistic. Oh my god. And you know what is interesting? I want to go there. So it's like a real, not challenge, but a real adventure. Yeah, that is the good word. It looks like or feels like a real adventure, because I'm not just playing. I want to fly there because I feel the whole aircraft. I feel the height, the altitude, and I see the beautiful scenery. And of course the resolution of this headset is limited, but my brain just don't care. I just believe I'm here, and it's amazing. Okay, I'm already impressed, I should say. Okay, let's go down. Oh my god. Because you know, the vegetation and the high quality textures, I should say it's much better than for example, than Tatabanya. So much better than the cities. This scenery is almost perfect. So of course, in the future, the resolution will be higher and so on, but I think it's already over the limit what is necessary to enjoy the flight. It's still a quite interesting feeling for me that I can touch the controllers easily, because there is no any effort to find the certain arms and modify it. You know, I will just take my camera and make some pictures. That was my first intention or first idea, and then I have just realized that, okay, Zsolt, you are in virtual reality, so it's not real. So let's climb a little bit upper and then maybe switch to New York. Alright, here we are in New York. Next to New York there is New York. This is LaGuardia Airport, and let's just immediately go. So this is now a real airport with asphalt, so I'm curious about the vibration, because here the gear forces are not very significant, but the vibration is important and significant. So it was great, but I have immediately lift off, so I didn't felt it very much. But let's land very quickly, and I will see what I feel. Okay, it was very, very realistic, the landing. Okay, now I will try to take off again. Oh, okay, I just ran on a light, and I have just felt it. Right, there is an Airbus. Okay, maybe my speed is a little bit too high, but doesn't matter, because we can test it how it looks like if we are going on or running on the grass. So if I feel any difference. Okay, now this is asphalt or concrete, and now I'm on the grass. Yes, I immediately felt some difference. It wasn't very big difference. Okay. Oh my God. All right, but here I felt the forces. All right. Okay, I think it's not my best takeoff in my life, but let's see. Okay, now I feel the vibration, and it's immediately disappeared when okay, for a second I felt again, because I was just hit the ground. But it was great, and there is a big difference now in the motion as compared to the previous flights, because now the roll is not based on the roll movement, so not one-on-one roll movement what you see here, but it's based on the forces inside the cockpit and based on the coordinated turn indicator. I don't know. So if I make coordinated turn, I mean my turn is good. Oh my God, this is the city. Then the seat pointing to the ground, so there is no roll movement. But immediately if I make a bad turn, I don't know, how can I do that, because I'm too professional. No. Then I feel immediately that something is wrong, because I feel in the seat So I think it can help a lot to learn how to turn with the airplane on the good way, on the proper way. So I think this could be very useful. But in the same time, I would say, as a gamer, so I'm not a pilot, as always mentioned, as a gamer, for me, the regular roll movement is much more entertaining, how can I say, so much more enjoyable if I use that one. So maybe later I will make some experiments to combine these two stuff, but for as a first experience, I would say for me the original roll is much better, but for training purposes I'm sure that these settings is better. Okay, so this is New York. It's just beautiful, but I think something is wrong with that bridge. The graphics is not perfect. But overall, New York, maybe I should download a New York package or something, because I think New York was better in Microsoft 2020. So maybe it's just the raw data, and I didn't download the New York package or something, because it looks good, but I'm not super impressed. So the Grand Canyon was much better. Oh, sorry. Yes, here is the Infuse VR menu, and sometimes when I'm gesticulating, then I can hit it accidentally. So it's great, but in the same time, somehow it's not super beautiful. Like the textures are not perfect. Like it looks like the city is dirty. I don't know. Maybe everybody left it 20 years ago, and that's the result. But it's still very how can I say, shocking to see the lots of buildings and so on. And I have been to New York a couple of times, and it's just bring back my memories. So it's really a great stuff. I think there is a New York package, but I should download for next time. But now I wanted to just show you the different sceneries and the graphics, but I think you already know everything about Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, so I cannot tell you any new. Maybe that bug, what I mentioned at the beginning, if you have any idea about this lost focus issue, then I would be happy to learn, because it's super disturbing. But overall, the feeling is very great. I would say, I think Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 runs much more smoothly on our computer as does 2020, because it's just much faster, more smooth. Okay, the graphics quality is not the highest. I will try the highest one as well, but here everything goes very well. So if I start a different location, it's just load, it runs. I don't have to wait hours to start. So I'm impressed the better quality of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I understand and I know that lots of people don't like it because it's not ready or something, but for me it's already much better than the previous one. So I have to say I'm happy with that. Okay, I'm trying to do a coordinated turn, but with not a big success. Okay, maybe the pedal was in wrong there. Okay, that's why I said that maybe I can learn how to use the pedals in the air, because before that, if I want to be totally honest, okay, look at that building. What happens here? What is happening there? Okay, maybe it's a word and movie or something. and maybe the, yeah, so something happened in New York, I believe. Maybe the zombies take over the rules or the city. So yeah, but still that scenery is just amazing. But let's go back. So regarding the pedal handling, if I want to be totally honest, I'm not really using the pedals in the flight because it's a simulator. There is no risk if I made some wrong pedal handling, or the aircraft is just flying. I don't care about the fuel consumptions and so on. But since I set these settings, so these cockpit forces, now I'm getting take attention on the pedal handling, because the pedal handling has a big impact on the roll. So okay, I would say I prefer still the roll movement, but now I'm a little bit getting agree that this turn coordination feature is quite useful. Okay, let's just fly down into zombie land. I don't know why it is the default settings or the default scenery. It's just strange a little bit. I believe it's the raw satellite data, and they just didn't want to. Yeah, it should be. I think these are the reflections and so on. So it's not very nice, but still shocking and spectacular. So I would absolutely recommend to upgrade to 2024. I don't think you should wait so long, and I'm sure that Microsoft will upgrade the software recently. I have already had, I don't know, 2-3 times upgrades, but this strange control focus issue is not resolved yet. So yeah, so it's a beautiful software with a beautiful simulator. I don't know, where are you? Okay, you are there. So with a beautiful simulator, the feeling is just perfect. So I can really recommend to buy our simulator. And of course, honestly, I'm not an independent advisor, as I told you once. So please think about that and take into consideration every aspect. But if you are still considering to buy our simulator, I would suggest to do it now, because we still have some promotion with a great $300 discount. So please don't miss out. Let's take this advantage. And if you like the video, please push the like and the subscribe button. It helps us a lot, and you will not miss the videos in the future. And for now, thank you for your attention. In the near future, I will update you regarding the GameLink software and Infuse VR software, and of course the simulator. We are working on some new stuffs. So for now, thank you very much. And okay, let me just make a coordinated turn, which is okay. I have no idea how to do. Okay, now it's almost coordinated. Not bad. All right. Okay. Yes, you are there. So thank you for your attention for now, and see you in the next video.